kind of my mind went to different places. And so this will be a kind of stream of consciousness presentation. So I will follow, there will be historical points. It will be, I mean, the spirit will be similar to Michal. Also, you will see there will be some common motifs. We did have common things. But that will also, give, it will be some type of also proof that these things happened. So let's go ahead, let's start. So our first joint paper, mine and Vinit, in the early 1990s that's where the fallible comes from, learning fallible finite state automata. And I really like this paper, but I like the title. I think I felt fallible. There was something kind of sophisticated about this word. Clearly, it was Vinit's idea to use this term, and I still like it when I say it. It kind of bubbles in my mouth, and I really like it a lot. So I thought about this, what kind of things came up. So the first thing you have already said, so Belgian house or Bet Belgia. So this is a photo from a different angle. But what I have, so this was the faculty club at Hebrew University. It wasn't, I don't think the coffee was good. There were these toast, but there wasn't really, food wasn't the main issue here. Food will also come up when I talk, less than Michal, but it will come up. But there were these sofas, these armchairs that we could sit and talk about research or stuff. So it was really nice and comfortable and cozy. So that's where we spent a lot of time there. And recently, so this is a recent photo. And what now happens, this is the new thing from, is that actually it's no longer a faculty club at Hebrew University. It belongs to some tech company. So it was sold out and it's no longer ours. So this is Lightrix. I'm not even sure what they do. So this is where Bet Belga. Another thing for here against food, sorry, but with Ona Ella. So this is also something, a photo from, it's closed by now. So it's kind of a mythological cafe in Tel Aviv. So if you look, I think there's a Wikipedia entry, maybe only in Hebrew, I'm not sure. I say it was Bohemian place. I don't know how Bohemian it was, but it was really, really nice. And also we could go over the menu, what there were, and who the people that worked there and so on. So that was a really nice place. The third memory that came kind of my conscious or subconscious is Dana Anglin. So Dana Anglin, as you know, is a learning theory from Yale. So why does this come up? So this relates to this paper. So I don't remember if it was in that conference version or that journal version, but Dana discovered there was some error in what we did. So the claim was correct, but our probabilistic argument, maybe that refers to what Renit was saying about our arguing about Chernow bounds, I'm not sure. But there was a problem with our argument. So I was, this was like, I have had mistakes since then. This was the first, I was really terrified. I thought, this was like the end of the world. But here, Renit, she kind of, again, to the rescue. He said, pull your act together. We just had to solve it. We'll do it. And so we fixed it and things were really okay. But I have that memory in me, this fear, fear in the background. So there's actually an asterisk here about the first project. And why is this asterisk? Because for me, so this was really the first thing we worked on, but our first publication was this work. So this was work also, but this was on typical finite. So it wouldn't have sounded as nice, from typical DFAs to fallible sounds much better. And also from me, this is really the first work that the two of us worked together. But speaking of the AT&T crowd, so there were several works with the AT&T people in the mid 1990s. So including these. So if you notice also in the previous one, the people are a little different. It's always 6. Somehow there was some magic number of 6. So there's both Renit and I and Mike and Rob, but there are some other people. But it's 6. It fits very nicely in two rows. So what kind of memories come up here? So here it actually comes up with shared apartments during these visits to AT&T. It was in Hoboken. And actually, I think, that really the apartment that Renit found us an apartment that was really this kind of really nice type of area in Hoboken. So it was very charming. And then there was one in the Washington Square Village. You see, it's not charming, at least the bill, but it was, the location, hard to beat that. It was really, really, great, really great being there. And then again, there's something, I don't want to use the word trauma, that's a little too strong, but it is something that's recurring. So this is, I'll explain why I put this photo. So Ronit we would go to AT&T, Ronit would drive. But then one day, so I don't remember what her car exactly looked like, but I remember there was this really nice bluish thing. So I searched for something blue. Ronit can say how similar it was to her car and what make it was. I thought of asking Ran what make, but I said, no, I'll just leave it. I'll look for something that seems seems similar. So it was one day when he couldn't go, and then she said, just kind of general here, just take the car, and so I took the car. This wasn't that easy for me because driving to New Jersey was I was a little worried about, but that went okay, and there wasn't Waze or anything. But I went back. I went there. I came back, but then I went into the parking under the building, and I took a reverse, and then I broke, like smashed totally the side mirror, and I felt so bad. I just I thought, oh my god, this is, and again, this was another thing too. So she just took it, and I think I would be totally pissed if I had to take care of this. So the next day, this is what she had to deal with, going and fixing, and she never gave me a feeling that maybe, I don't know what she remembers of this, but she never made me feel bad about it, but I felt really bad. I still remember it. Okay, let's go forward. And so then, this was something I wanted to say. So you see it says here, learning discrete distributions, playing repeated games. So this sounds like, we no longer worked on DFAs, but in each of these papers, there's not a hidden, but there's a DFA that does something, or I think it's not a deterministic one, maybe a probabilistic one actually, but there is one, and we had one more work also on learning automata. So now this, Michal already mentioned, there's, Michal and I go testing in the early 2000s. And we had these works, and Michal also mentioned them. So here, and I had the same type of problem of looking for photos. I say, no, where's the photo of Ronit? Where's Ran? Their apartment, so I didn't even have their apartment building. So I search, and what I could come up with is something a little different, but still, I decided to share it with you. So this is in the apartment that we stayed in Chelsea, and this is Oded with his nice galapia playing supposedly the drums there. And so I thought it was a nice photo. And another thing, so this is New York City 2001, and this is another photo that I found, but I'm not even sure. I don't remember if we met in that year. It's earlier, but it's in the apartment we stayed in, and in Soho, and also had good memories of that. So I decided again, stream of consciousness, I'm allowed to do that. But after searching some more, finally I found this picture, and I really, really like it. So this was in we stayed on 11th Street. This is in 2002, and so as you see, there's also one of Michal in the same position. But I decided that we won't. It's enough we're embarrassing Ronit now, so that's what we do. But I'm really happy to find this photo. So here we were resting, but we didn't rest all the time and only eat. We would sit here. It was this kind of closed patio, and we sat there and worked outside. So it was really that was lots of fun. And then there was a Radcliffe short after. And so here we are, you see, we look very serious. So this is the randomness cluster. And here you can see Ronit, a pretty cool photo, I think. And this was Putnam House where we worked. This is inside. So there's a photo of us that is proof. Actually, there is some proof that we were there. And the last thing that came to my mind here, again, in memories, so we said we shared 2 apartments. And this is the building so we didn't share an apartment this time, but we were in the same apartment building during this period. And now we jump ahead to the Tau days, starting 2008. So here there were quite a lot of, we worked, I think that it didn't work, I don't remember, but here we worked a lot together. So many of the papers here are with Reut Levi, that was our joint student. And there were a few others. Michal was also joined with another Michal. So we had quite a lot of work here. And again, when I thought, what image comes up to me when I think of this? It'll be a little weird, but this is the image that comes. Okay, so you say, I'm talking about Tel Aviv University. Why am I showing you again a photo of New York City? So here I have to show you where this photo comes in context. So this is this is in our apartment in Tel Aviv, and it's a little hard to see, but it's covered our whole back wall. And why do I show you this? Because several years after 2008, so Han and Ronit were going back to the States, and we were using them to move things with them because we were going there also. And then they had this thing, they weren't sure what to do with it. And they said, okay, we can take it. So we took it, and since then I see it, every day, and in our bedroom. And I really like this photo. It reminds me of New York, but it reminds me of Han and Ronit, so I like this.
Dana, you're mute.
For some reason, I muted myself. Just a minute. I unshared. Oh, I pressed. I guess I was moving my hands. I somehow so let me fix this and go back to where I was. Hopefully. Okay. Yes. So this is it. And now finally we get to DFA therapy. That's the end of the title. So why DFA therapy? So this last year that Ronit was here. So this was our jam board. So Ronit named it. So we worked, again, we kind of came full circle back to trying to do something with DFAs and not learning, but testing. And that was Ronit's name for and here the images that come up. So this is the first one. So this is a view from Ron and Ronit's place, not from right now, because I didn't take even pictures this time. Even though, we can take pictures all the time. This is an old picture, but it is a view from the place where it's a Amos Fiat place. So it's beautiful. It's just gorgeous there. And this is another thing. This is the corner of I think that's also in English, of Rabbi Ada and Rabbi Hanina streets in Jaffa. And this is a cafe. It's one of the nicest cafes that Ronit introduced me to, and we would go there when we worked and talked. And this is kind of a really nice barista made this coffee, and I took a photo of it recently. And then since I had a little more space here, I just put one more photo that I like. So I would come with it. Sometimes Ronit would come to Tel Aviv, and sometimes we would use the bus. It was convenient not to drive. So this is just a photo of Jaffa Sky waiting for the number 10 bus, and there's something that I like about this. So I'll end with just saying, kind of wishing Ronit that she may continue to have the greatest ideas, really, the greatest ideas for research directions, and that she'll want to work with me on them. So happy birthday, Ronit, and thanks a lot for all these wonderful things that we had together.
Thank you, Dana. I will always be happy to work with you on anything.
Okay, so now I'll stop sharing, and we'll see that Oded manages. And I'll mute my